My name is Reza Filsufi. I was born in Tehran, Iran. When I was 26, I moved to the United States. Well, at that time, I had all my family here. So between California and Florida, I decided to come to Florida and take a chance, and I really love it. I play Iranian music, and the reason I'm generalize it as Iranian music because it's a combination of classical, traditional music, folk music, and a contemporary music, which I pretty much love to play all of them. I started it when I was around 10 or 11. One summer, my father told me and my brother, I'm going to drop you at your grandmother's in Tehran, and you're going to go to music school and also at the same time go to English classes. My father, he played one of the instruments that we started with, that santur. He always sang at home, and he was the one that put the seed in my brain about the music, and he always constantly talked about music and different pieces of Iranian music, which I was not interested at that time in that at all. But you know how you talk with the kids that it stays in their mind, and later on you just discover, oh, I knew that my father talked about that before. And then my mom also, she really loves music. It was something like inside the family that really motivated me to continue and learn more and more about music. So I started with santur, which we already had at home because my father was playing around with it. Then later on, when I was 17, I really fell in love with tombak. I always fool around with tombak all these years, just playing as a non-professional. But then I decided to go and continue with Master Arash Farhangfar and his father, Master Nasser Farhangfar. Then I find out about the DAF. Again, all these times I was playing those instruments, but I always wanted to play it properly. Then I had a sitar at home. My father was playing with that. So it's a very intimate instrument, sitar. It's a very private instrument, and I fell in love with sitar, and it became my very personal way of expressing myself with sitar. Iranian music in general is a very ancient form of art, which because of the political situation of Iran with the Persian Empire, it has a big influence in all Asia. And then later on, when in 7th century AD, when the Arab invade Iran pretty much, this trading between musician and an artist influenced both sides of the conflict, both Iranian and Arab musicians. So later on, you see the trace of the music between Arab, Middle East, Mediterranean, North Africa, and also Turkey. Definitely one thing about Iranian music, that the mystical part of Iranian music is the poetry, which poetry contains a lot of mystic narratives of Iranian culture, I would say, which the poet always search for better life, search for truth or the reason of being in general. That leads everything to spirituality. They constantly asking question, why are we here? What are we doing for this life? And they always want to take the body out of the context and say that there's always a soul that you have to improve it. So the music and literature combine together to serve the spirituality and mystic part of the culture. And I really think this is one thing that probably Iranian culture as a gift give it to the whole world, as the poetry, music, and mysticism. For me, performing music is like a conversation. That's the best way that I can communicate with my audience, because when you perform, there's the way that the music, the rhythm, because the focus is going in the same direction. So there's a harmony, there's a level of unity between everyone in the room. I don't want to separate the audience from the performers, because people always think that the performers are separated. To me, and at least for my music, It's not. I can totally feel the energy from audience. If my audience is like focused on me or they're not, it affects the performance. And when you get to that level of communication that you feel it, it's priceless. Well, at this moment in my life, I'm 46. There's no way that I can imagine life without music, any kind of music. I need to play music. I need to read poetry to keep myself elevated all the time. It's not something that I can put it aside. I actually did for a couple of years, and I really suffered for those years that I had to put it aside to work and support my family. But it's just embedded in my soul. I cannot live without music one day.